Social Studies Class 6 note presented by Okoth. Welcome. This is a new topic, in fact a new chapter in this class. We will be talking about various things. Our topic is physical environment. The subtopic is the countries of Eastern Africa. Bear with mind that in class 6 we learn about Eastern Africa. Now we are dealing with neighboring countries of Kenya. So physical environment, even in class 5 we said, are what are found around us. So physical environment is what is found around us. Now let's talk about the countries of Eastern Africa. Eastern Africa is the region located in the eastern part of the continent of Africa. So Eastern Africa, in the continent of Africa as a whole, is found at the eastern part, as the eastern region. It is made up of 11 independent countries, and those countries are Sudan, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Somalia, South Sudan, Kenya, Uganda, Eritrea, Burundi, Rwanda, and Djibouti. Those are total number of countries that make the region or make Eastern Africa. They are the countries that lies on the eastern region of Africa. Now, let's talk about the largest country in Eastern Africa. The largest country in Eastern Africa is Sudan. And the smallest country in Eastern Africa is Djibouti. Now, there is a country which was formed in July 2011 known as South Sudan. South Sudan became independent in July 2011. It got its independent in July 2011. Now that is what makes the other country. Now when it join with the other countries, they will make up 11 countries in Eastern Africa. Like initially we used to have 10 countries, but now after the independence of South Sudan, we now have total number of 11 countries. There are some countries in Eastern Africa that do not have coastal line. When I say coastal line, these are countries that do not have, or they do not border sea or ocean. In short, they are called landlocked countries. Landlocked countries in Eastern Africa are Burundi, Uganda, Rwanda, Ethiopia, South Sudan. The acronym of those countries that are landlocked countries are BARES. When you say BARES, you'll come, even if you are doing exams and you are asked what is landlocked countries or give examples of landlocked countries, you will just have the acronym BARES. Then you'll say B stand for Burundi, U stand for Uganda, and R stand for Rwanda, E stand for Ethiopia, and S stand for South Sudan. Those are landlocked countries. Now, class, let's move on by now defining the position and the size of the countries. Bear in mind that we have mentioned some of the size, knowing the largest country and the smallest country. If you'll get time, we'll also try to find out the real actual size of the countries in Eastern Africa. Now let's talk about position. Position of Eastern African countries. Eastern African countries lies within latitude 22 degrees north and 12 degrees south, and between longitude 22 degrees east and 51/52 degrees east. So if you happen to go to your location maps, maybe on your phone, or maybe you're learning on internet, then you write on Google Maps, you search latitude 22 degrees north and 12 degrees south, and longitude 22 degrees east and 51/52 degrees east. You'll able to be given Eastern African countries. I know most of you learned about longitude and latitudes, but let's also talk about longitudes and latitudes. Let's define what is latitudes and longitude. Latitudes, these are imaginary lines that runs from west to east. Now these lines are also called parallels. When we say parallels, meaning they cannot meet at any point. The main line of latitude, or the main latitude, is equator. Equator is at 0 degrees. The equator divides the earth into two equal halves called hemisphere. Now we have northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Now when you are separating or dividing the earth into two equal parts, that actual thing or the act of dividing it is now the half is called, those halves, one is hemisphere. So we have northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Now let's go to distinct reasons or distinct features, characteristics of latitudes. What separates latitudes from longitudes? They are as follows. They are parallel. They are parallel. Class, we say that parallel are lines that cannot meet at any point. There are different lengths. They have different length. You know the length, the longest part of a shape. They affect climate. We'll talk more about climate on our next subtopic, climate. They are measured in degrees from the equator. So the way we say that equator is 0 degrees, so that's what makes it to be measured in degrees. Now the lines, latitudes, the total number of latitudes are 180 180 in numbers. The other important lines of latitudes are, we have the Tropic of Cancer. We have there 23, not 231, sorry. There are 23, Tropic of Cancer, 23 degrees north and 21 degrees stroke 21 degrees. That is the Tropic Cancer, meaning that the Tropic Cancer is found at the northern part of the equator, northern part of the equator. Then we have the Arctic Circle, that is 66 degrees north also. We also have the Tropic of Capricorn, which is 23 degrees and 21 degrees south. The Tropic of Capricorn is found at southern part or southern region. If you look at the atlas maps, there are lines that are drawn across the maps, the lines that start running from west to east. There are ones that you'll find at the southern part, and there are ones that you'll find at the northern part. So the southern part, the one that lies on 23 degrees and 21 degrees south, is called Tropic of Capricorn. The Tropic of Cancer is different. It is found at the latitude that lies on 23 degrees and 21 degrees north. We have another line that is Antarctic Circle. Antarctic Circle lies on 66 degrees stroke 21 degrees south. Let's talk about longitudes. Longitudes, these are imaginary lines that run from North Pole to South Pole of the Earth. They are also called meridians or horizontals. Horizontals, they run from top to down, or bottom, from top to bottom, sorry. Main line or the main longitude is called Greenwich meridian at 0 degrees. Greenwich meridian is also called prime meridian. That is the other name. Prime meridian passes through Greenwich town in London and Accra in Ghana. So it is a line that runs all over from London, a Greenwich town in London, up to in a town also in Ghana called Accra. Let's talk about characteristics of longitudes. They run from north to south. They are not parallel, meaning they are not meeting at any point. They meet at the pole. They affect time. They are of the same length. They are measured in degrees east or west of prime meridian. They are 360 lines of longitudes in total. So it is varied. The other one is 180, that is latitude, but this one is 360. We said that they are not parallel. Listen to this point number 2. When I say that the lines are not parallel, meaning that they meet at a certain pole. So, use of latitudes and longitudes to locate places. They are used to give positions of places on the Earth's surface. Latitudes locate a place either to the north or south. Longitude also locate a place either to the west or east. Thank you for listening and following the class with me. I was your teacher, Teacher Okoth. Thank you and let's meet next time.